Hey guys, it's Alex Burtson, the Manic Scholar, back again with another video. This is another Michael teachings chart that I'm doing. Um, we have today we have Sam Harris as the subject. This is his Michael teachings chart that we're looking at. So I'm going to go into all the characteristics that were channeled on his chart and kind of summarize everything. Um, if you don't know what Michael Teachings is, it's this channeled body of knowledge that talks about our soul types and soul characteristics, and then characteristics we take on for each life. Talks about our reincarnational cycle, where we are in our reincarnational cycle, different lessons we're learning at where we're at. So, and if you don't know who Sam Harris is, he's a writer, a philosopher. He was big on the new atheist movement, but he's also really big on spirituality and meditation. So I'm just going to get into the details of his chart here. So when you're looking at a Michael chart, there's two sections of it. There's the essence and the overleaves. The essence is the characteristics that stay the same for the person in question, which is Sam Harris in this case. This is for Sam Harris's complete reincarnational cycle on Earth. He's going to have all these same characteristics on the left under essence, all this stuff here. And then the overleaves are characteristics you take on for just this life. They modify your personality and the way that you function for this life. So this changes with each life that you have. So we'll talk about his essence first. His role is a sage, which is on the expression axis. It's the cardinal expression role. So what's really big with sages is communication. Um, they're really big on collecting wisdom and insight and sharing it with others. That's their natural role in society is to be the communicators of wisdom and insight, and that makes a lot of sense for what um, Sam Harris does as a philosopher and a neuroscientist. Um, he definitely has something he wants to communicate uh, in his own philosophical way. Also, he has an artisan essence twin, which is discarnate, which is also on the expression axis. So this will give him a little artisan boost of energy because his essence twin is discarnate. So he's going to have this creative, sensitive aspect to him with the artisan there. And then you can see more of his secondaries. He's got scholar, server, and scholar. So the scholar doubles up, it just reinforces the same kind of thing. So what the scholar is the neutral type, the assimilative type that studies things, absorbs experiences, and collects and organizes knowledge for the rest of uh, the world, or for all the different roles. They're the one that records everything. So you're gonna see also with Sam Harris, he does have a lot of the scholarly characteristics here with studying things and in the way that he writes. It's really big. Um, Server will add a little quality of being nurturing and caring. So that's there a little bit. That's the cadence. He's got an artisan task companion, which is a very common choice because it adds, you could say, some creativity because of the artisan. He's in Cadre 4 Entity 6. Um, I'm not sure who else is in that one. I think Steve Von Till is in that, the vocalist and guitarist of Neurosis. Um, Aaron Turner also of ISIS. Um, and a bunch of other people. Um, his orientation is energy, so there's 3 different orientations you can have. It's truth, love, or energy. They're the different aspects of the highest uh, expression of each domain. There's truth is the intellect, love is the emotions, and energy is like physicality and the energetic aspects of things. So he's exploring the energetic aspects of things throughout his whole cycle. That's more of the focus he's got as his orientation there. So that's interesting. That's associated with like war and fighting, and it can be stuff like that. It could be being more in your body. It could be dealing with energy, such as maybe when you're meditating, the kind of energy that you feel in your body, stuff like that. Very physical, and I know he's into like uh, I think he does uh, BJJ or something like that, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or some other similar martial art that he practices. So that kind of makes sense there. He's got 55% male energy and 45% female, so he's slightly leaning towards the male side, but he's pretty balanced. So he's going to be kind of balanced in terms of doing and being, in terms of an energy that goes forward and accomplishes goals, which is the male energy, and an energy that creates an environment, creativity for through being. So he's got kind of a balance there, but more towards the male side. His frequency is 46, which is in the middle. So he's pretty steady with how he goes through things. He doesn't zoom through experiences really fast because his frequency is right in the middle at 46. Previous cycles, he's had 10. A lot of charts that I've had channeled are around 10, including my own. So it's pretty common to see, but the average on the planet is 4. So he's way ahead in terms of how many previous cycles he's had. And previous cycle means like going through all the different soul ages and incarnating on different planets. So he's been on 10 planets before Earth, basically. So look at his global job and community responsibility now. So the global job is a mix of priest and warrior energy, and it's called sacrifice. So it's about sacrificing yourself and your own energy and your own focus and time to helping the greater society in some way. Is basically what sacrifice is about. That's why it's got the priest and it's got warrior. It's a mix of both of those. His community responsibility is fertility, which is a mix of warrior and artisan. And it's about having a fertile society in terms of being able to grow, have kids of a new generation, but also have all the different parts of society set up, all the different things we need for a thriving community and society. That's what fertility is about. So he's got a mix of those. So that global job and community responsibility are going to be the same for all his lives. It's going to be kind of a focus of his. So that's all the essence stuff. I'll talk about the overleaves fairly quickly here. He's in the old soul age. So if we look on the soul age chart I've got here, he's old level 1. So he's focused on building context and understanding for all the different experiences he's had and having a kind of overarching philosophical viewpoint of how it all works that he's arrived at through his own experience. That's kind of what the old soul age is about. It's where you kind of start to detach from everything and get ready to stop reincarnating. You get to the end of your cycle after you finish old level 7. But he's at old level 1, so he just came out of the mature soul age, which is where he was in past lives. He's just stepping into the old soul age now. So he's probably more comfortable with the perspective of the mature soul age, which is focused on relationships. But now he's starting to open up and see the new perspective of the old soul age. So that's where he's at with the soul age. get this back here. Okay. So what's interesting about his overleaves is you see they're all either blue or yellow. So all his overleaves are either on it's mainly on the expression axis, and then he has some on the inspiration axis, which is the yellow. So blue is expression, yellow is inspiration. So you can see all his overleaves here are either expression or inspiration. So he doesn't have any on the action axis or any neutral overleaves at all either. So that's pretty interesting to see that he has a certain focus. Acceptance and idealist, the goal acceptance is and the attitude idealist are both the natural overleaves for the sage. So it's like he's having a very sagey kind of life this time. The goal of acceptance means that he's learning how to accept life as it comes and accept that you can't really control how things play out. So that he probably had a lot of challenging things as he grew up that he had to learn how to accept. And that's kind of what this life is having him learn this time. The attitude of idealists sees how things can be fixed for the better, how society can be improved. What's the ideal standard that we could live up to, and how can we get to that? That's kind of the attitude of idealist. He's in caution mode, which is, the way he releases energy is very cautiously. He's very cautious with his decisions and how he goes about things. Usually, when you have caution mode, that means that you had some past lives that were very haphazard or not as controlled, and there was some mistakes made. So this time you're here to be a little bit more cautious in how you release your energy, so as not to make mistakes. So that's kind of what the caution signifies. His centering is emotional and intellectual, so he processes things primarily through his emotional state, his feelings, and then it informs what he thinks about. That's his typical centering setup. He's got the obstacle of self-destruction and self-deprecation. Self-destruction is the fear of losing control, and self-deprecation is feeling inadequate. So the obstacles are something that we take on that just makes life a little bit more challenging. It's something to overcome, and it varies in intensity in each individual. So it's hard to say how strong he's being affected by these things. But self-destruction is his primary one. That's like it can make somebody very disciplined and afraid of losing control. They probably grew up with like a chaotic life somehow, which made them want to keep staying in control. So that's what that obstacle is. His body types, he has Saturnian and Mercurial. Saturnian is made for leadership, so that's a signification there. There's some leadership ability here with the Saturnian body type, and then he has Mercurial as the second one, which is made for communication, which makes a lot of sense because he's a communicator. He's a public intellectual and does lots of speeches and debates and different things like that, and writes. So Mercurial makes a lot of sense. His quadrant is knowledge, so when he's in a group setting, he's the one who usually provides information. And then his needs are adventure, security, and exchange. Adventure is just whatever feels like an adventure to you, to have that element in your life. Security can be like financial and having a home and just feeling secure. Exchange is about interacting with people one-on-one and having a back and forth kind of thing going on. So that's everything on this chart. Because you can see he's got a lot of the blue overleaves, so a lot on the expression axis, and which is a lot of stuff is intellectual. He's got some inspiration stuff going on too, but his goal and attitude and mode are all in the expression axis, and he's a sage, so that sage characteristics are going to be really strong for him overall. But he's got some scholar and artisan too, so the scholar helps with studying, and the artisan helps with the creativity. So this makes a lot of sense for him, especially as being a sage and the kind of stuff he does, and having some scholar secondary, being a philosopher and a public intellectual as he is, makes a lot of sense. So, and then with the old soul, you know, having this kind of philosophical perspective of everything and kind of being detached um, from the intensity of things, like it would be a young soul or a mature soul. He's kind of moving beyond that at this point. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's Sam Harris. That's Sam Harris's chart. I'm gonna have some more videos. I have a bunch of different um, charts to do. Some different videos of different Michael charts coming. I'm gonna do XXX Tentacion next. I'm gonna release that pretty soon after this one. So just stay tuned, and there'll be more. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Manic Scholar out.